Welcome to the channel. It's Gwyn, and I have reconvened the Revolver Round Table. So welcome to my guests, Rob Turner, Richard Porter, and Phil Wood.
Hi, everyone.
We were all in Liverpool together, guys. But a few weeks ago.
We were.
So
time was had by all.
It was, and I think we'll get onto that as a subject a bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get to the meat of the on the bones, so to speak. Obviously, we've had in the last couple of weeks announcement of the anthology.
Yes.
And anthology 4 and 13 tracks, and it only being a box set and costing quite a lot of money. There's been controversy around other releases as well. Power to the People is not without controversy. And yesterday, with the announcement of McCartney's Wings album, a new compilation, nothing new on there, coming out in lots of formats, and you can buy it with a T-shirt and without a T-shirt and whatever else. But okay, guys, there are some of the releases over the last couple of weeks which has kept us all busy. But what are your thoughts on this? And are the various estates and Apple, have they lost their way, or are we as just old fogies and are we missing the point?
Well, we're old fogies, that's for sure.
Yeah. But I think they're trying to get everything out while they're still alive, to be totally honest. That's the impression I get. I mean, the anthology has been coming for a while. I mean, I was told about that about 3 years ago, that Peter Jackson was working on it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get, and certainly for the TV shows, hopefully we'll get better sound and stuff, and hopefully the whole videos, like complete songs, because there is it wasn't on the official videos, but there's director's cut, which I've got on DVD, and that was the whole songs. So I'm hoping, at least for that, we'll get the whole songs. But the album, well, anthology 4, a lot of the tracks have been released already as on the deluxe versions of the other albums, so there's not much actually new on there. And putting it on in a box set, I suppose you can get it on Spotify and stuff, but I mean, for us collectors, and to buy a whole lot again.
It is pushing the boundaries a bit for us collectors, as you say. Sorry, Phil, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, sorry, I was going to. For me, it's muddled thinking on the part of Apple here. I mean, Anthology 1, 2, and 3, we're telling the chronological story of the Beatles here, and Anthology 4 doesn't fit with that. And I think they've been caught between two stools here a little bit. But they've got the luxury of having Peter Jackson on board, so we'll get this special episode, which I'm really looking forward to. You've got the remixes of Real Love and Free as a Bird. But beyond that, it's like, well, how can we justify justify a big release? And I don't know, it's a bit strange. I mean, the 3 anthology albums, at the time of you guys recall, they made a big splash. I think they were all got to #1 in America. Hugely successful albums, and I know things have changed with streaming and what have you, but I don't know, I think they've just been caught not really quite knowing what their strategy is, what the correct strategy should be.
It's a difficult one. I mean, it is a bit of a niche release on some views, because they're outtakes ultimately. So maybe they're thinking that it wouldn't be that popular, and therefore the only way to make a profit on it was to bundle them together in a box set. And if that means we get other box sets later on down the line, I'm all in favour of it.
I kind of agree that there's been a bit of muddled thinking, because, as Richard said, this has been kicking around for a little while now, and wouldn't the natural home of the Threetles tracks have been on a reissued anthology rather than re-releasing the Red and the Blue albums a few years ago, as they did? I see that as a stranger choice than we're doing now.
I suppose the
especially
question
on the LP version of Red and the Blue, putting everything on an extra disc rather than put them in chronological order.
Yeah.
On the CDs. Very odd.
And what about McCartney's Wings compilation that was announced?
Yeah.
But
Another one.
Yesterday, or the day before.
Didn't we have Wingspan already? I mean,
there's nothing new on it.
No, there's nothing new about it at all, other than the packaging. I guess it's inevitable. You've got a book and the documentary, which is coming out. I guess it's inevitable he's going to want to accompany it with an album, but it would be nice to have something.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's going to appear on there inevitably.
I haven't seen when I haven't seen the track listing. Is it singles and album cuts? Is there any? Stuff? Yeah, I haven't seen the track.
Quite a good spread, to be fair.
I mean, it's not a bad collection of songs.
No,
it really. I mean, the music's brilliant. As we all know, but there is nothing new, and it's a lot of these tracks have already appeared on other compilations as well.
But at least it is only Wings this time.
Yes, that is true.
That's the first time.
But that in itself is a bit bizarre, because it is just Wings on the album, but the documentary is featuring from the point of the Beatles breakup.
Right. Yeah.
So
yes.
More modern thinking.
That seems to be a bit bizarre.
Remember when Paul did Too Many People in concert? There was all these Wings things at the background, just like, no. Ram, not Wings. Yeah. Well.
Having said that, but at least they're doing the Blu-ray with the surround sound mixes. So they're obviously new, at least new to physical format. That's going to be quite interesting, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you haven't got a vinyl compilation, then it is a nice package. You can't get away from it. It looks terrific. And from all those point of views, I guess from that point of view, is it ticking the new and younger generation as opposed to us? And is that what the solo estates and Apple are thinking about? Because it's starting to very much look that way, isn't it?
I think so. Also, we got the new CEO as well.
Yeah, but I think he's only
going.
He might not have even started, or maybe last week or so.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. But,
he's going to be not signing off on stuff until to now, I would have thought.
I think that's like it's like the change of direction. That's it's getting a new CEO. You got things are going to change. I think. The new guy was the Harry Potter guy, wasn't he? He did all the merch for Harry Potter and things.
Yeah, Tom Green, isn't it? And it will be interesting to see what the next Apple announcement is, because then that really should, if not had all his fingerprints on it, he would have at least signed it off.
Yeah.
Was that Rubber Soul, perhaps?
Dreams.
Or maybe not.
Yeah. Well, I was told a couple of years ago that they're going to release something like over 100 hours of Beatles stuff on Disney Plus, starting with the anthology.
Wow.
That's everything they're going to release, like all the concerts and stuff and everything else, TV shows, you name it. That'd be rather good, wouldn't it? But
it would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's going to happen. Who knows?
Yeah.
Do you think the other thing with Apple, you've got the I was reading the 4 biopics, the Sam Mendes biopics.
Oh yeah.
I think they're scheduled for release simultaneously. So it's going to be a huge cinematic event in, I think, April 2028. So that's 2.5 years away. And you think there's going to be a big splash there, isn't there? Apple are going to make a big big thing of that. So you do wonder, what are we going to get between now and then, and whether we will get anything substantive.
And the guys that playing the Beatles in that are very much geared towards young people.
They are, yeah.
By, whatever they call generation, whatever nowadays. But yeah.
Is it just me who's feeling a little bit twitchy about these films that are coming out?
More than twitchy, I would say. Yeah.
Yes.
I'd say though they have got some really good screenwriters to get. I think it's Jez Butterworth, who's very highly renowned. He's one of the screenwriters they've got, and they've all got some pretty strong credentials. So I'm hoping for the best, fearing the worst, but hoping for the best.
Yeah, I was reading that Ringo saw a draft of his and threw it back, saying that's not me, something like that. Well, it's him and Maureen, wasn't it? Saying,
yeah, I think it was relating to him and Maureen. Which is, yeah. He was there. He should know.
Yeah, but you worry it's going to be like their version of events, not the actual events. You know?
Yeah, I agree, Richard. I mean, it could be that, but I also, we are, us four and a huge number of others are going to be looking at this very forensically, aren't we? And they're in for a hiding to nothing in some respects.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's going to be very difficult to pull it off in every respect. But let's see what we get. See what we get. Thoughts on Power to the People? Have we all got it ordered? Are we not interested in this, or what's
on order?
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
For the sake of transparency, yes, I've got it on order as well. So yeah, I know I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe.
Not yet, I'm afraid. So
yeah, me too.
Make that decision, but
but it is.
I'm certainly looking forward to the New York City disc. That should be interesting. I'm probably less interested in the one-to-one bits, to be honest. I think I've heard enough of those now. But we'll see.
Have you heard, Rob, the outtakes? Sorry, the rock and roll covers and stuff. Have you heard any of that? This Philox, the protest singer guy, wasn't it? There's some collaborations with him featured. I've not heard any of that stuff.
No, not heard any of it yet.
That's interesting. That is.
There was a little clip of Honey Don't in a hotel room that was on YouTube today.
Right.
Okay.
I think that must be from one of the live discs.
Right. Maybe something in the last couple of days. Some sort of letters emerged that John wrote, apparently to Paul, inviting him to the one-to-one concerts to play. I just saw that in the last couple of days.
I think I've seen something similar, Richard.
Yeah. Interesting.
Did he extend the invite to George and Ringo as well, Richard? Do you know?
I don't know. This is a letter to especially to Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know about the others. But it just literally, I might have been this morning actually. I was scrolling Facebook and what's that? Found it interesting. I haven't got back into it yet, to be honest. But yeah.
But with all these releases, it's making the back end of each year quite an expensive time of year if you want to dive into all these releases. It's not surprising that we're seeing feedback from fans saying, no, I'm going to have to skip this one, and this one's not for me. I think that's quite understandable. Particularly, you do have the option to listen for free on Spotify, other services. So be interesting.
It is the same time of year because there's exactly 30 years between the release of Anthology 1 and the Anthology box set. So they're both on my birthday. So I remember that one. Thanks, Apple.
They did it just for you, Richard. They really.
Yeah.
So if we let's go back to the subject that I kicked off at the very beginning of, which was Liverpool's convention this year and conventions as a whole. Let's get some thoughts on that. It's been quite noticeable over recent years that the quality of guest speakers absolutely understandable, is becoming more and more difficult to organise, as you can expect. I think Rob and I, although we love our jaunts up to Liverpool, each time we're driving back, we're saying, how are they going to do it next year? And less people, and they need to, in some way, they need to be freshening things up, or to have some alternate aspects to the convention and the Beatle Week as a whole, as it is in Liverpool anyway, to attract younger fans, but also to make sure older fans are coming back year after year. What do we think?
They have made some changes. For instance, you could get now individual tickets to events, where other years you have to buy the package.
The package ticket, yeah.
I think that's really for the local fans and young fans as well. Like, I used to go out with Leah, my daughter, and she's wasn't old enough to go to the late night things, so we had to get a package. But now they changed it, which is good.
Right. Yeah.
But that's going in the right direction. And I did notice this year, I think the attendance was certainly the best since the pandemic.
Yeah,
it was definitely.
It was rammed during the convention. Yeah, which is good to see. But you're right. I mean, unfortunately, people are getting older and not with us anymore. So in terms of guest speakers, it's getting more hard, obviously. But I mean, it works. I mean, you see, it's a great social event. You see the same people every year. It's the annual reunion type things. So, Port Sunlight was really good this year. They're the day out in Port Sunlight.
Okay, did you go to that, Richard?
I did. It was good. It was both. It's in Hume Hall, of course. They first played with Ringo. Yeah, Beatles first played, and also outside as well. And there's a really nice theatre there too. There are bands in there, so and it was nice weather as well, which helps, especially with the outdoor stuff. So,
I mean,
that was good fun.
Port Sunlight is quite a incredible place, actually, isn't it?
It is. I love it. I love it there.
Yeah. I went up there a few years ago, but it's a really interesting place.
That was my 39th Beatle Week, would you believe?
Wow. I think I saw you posting it.
Yeah.
You sold the record, Richard, I think.
Yeah, not quite. There are a couple of others I know have been to more, but
it's a pretty impressive record, though, Richard.
Yeah. But
I saw on YouTube that there's quite a few of the old convention videos available. So I've watched a few of those recently. I saw one on 1988's convention,
right?
And there's quite a lot of the Mojo filter set on that, and that is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, love Mojo.
It does make you think, why isn't there a band as good as that doing rounds at conventions these days? But I've not seen any bands that are coming anywhere close to Mojo filter.
No, exactly. I totally agree. Yeah, and Simon, do you know Simon Weissman? He's doing a official film of Beatle Week.
Oh, okay.
He's done the fan film for the fans film. Then he's doing the Beatle Week one as well, which should be out next year.
Very good.
I'm in it.
I got a surprise.
That's nice. So, and he's got lots of the film from old conventions and stuff. So I'm sure Mojo Filter will be in there.
It would be, I think Rob and I have discussed this, but the Egg Pod events that were held for those 2 consecutive years, I thought they captured a really nice vibe, and there were familiar faces who attended those, and I was just thinking that whether or not that sort of question and answer session might be a way that they could update the convention a bit.
Yeah, I'd say with that, Gwyn, the format is a one-day convention now. It used to be 3 days back in the day when we were going 30, 40 years ago. Everything's compressed into that one day. I felt for me, having the guest speakers from midday till about 6 o'clock with hardly any break between them. I think it was a very small break, 10, 15 minutes at the most between each guest. I felt that we needed a bit more time. just to relax and go away and come back again. And also, old Mark Lewison was overworked a bit because he's up on stage the whole time. But I felt that was a bit samey, and I think you could have benefited from perhaps having, as you said, Gwyn, something like an egg pod scenario where you've got 3 or 4 guests up there, and you've got a theme to talk about, and you involve the audience as well. Get the audience involved. You could have something like, for example, I don't know, a discussion on the White Album, a panel choosing their single disc White version of the White Album, and you can then involve the audience in that. And they can vote for their best of the White Album, for example. But something where you're involving the audience and you haven't got this repetitive interviewee scenario that we had for the whole afternoon there, and it just felt a little bit samey, and it needed to be broken up a bit, I think.
For me, my favourite guest, and this is why I kind of it triggered thoughts of Egg Pod, was Stuart McConey, who okay, he's a writer and broadcaster, but other than having written a book, if we'd gone back a couple of years, he's got no real connection with the Beatles at all, other than he's a fan like you and me. Yet he is a guest who is very, very entertaining and can hold an audience. So, thinking a little bit more outside the box in who they might think of inviting, I think would be beneficial. But we'll see. They're going to have to make some changes because the number of guests is diminishing all the time.
But you also,
we didn't see it, but David Bedford was doing some other things in another room, which is sort of along those kind of lines, doing stuff on themes. I don't know. Did you see any of that, Richard?
I missed it, unfortunately. No, it's a shame. There's so much.
It clashed with other things anyway, so it was impossible.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That would have been good in the main hall.
Yeah. So maybe it's a case of just tweaking on some of the scheduling a bit, which I think is something that we've mentioned here. So food for thought for those that organise it. And let's face it, you're never going to please everybody, and it must be a thankless task. But we must say that we are grateful that they do it, because it gives us an opportunity to get together at least once a year anyway.
Yes, it's great to see the crowds back as well. I mean, it's people like it. It's working.
Okay, so going to move on to a different subject now. If you remember the marvellous plot that was behind Give My Regards to Broad Street and the theft of Paul's studio tapes for his new album, I'm going to put you in the position, or was his name Brian or something? Who the guy who nicked the tapes? If you could go back in time and tap each of the Beatles on the shoulder prior to them submitting an album to their respective record label, say, hang on, guys, just I think you need to tweak that, or think about the production on that, or contribute another couple of songs to that album. Which albums would you change?
Paul McCartney, Driving Rain, which basically is unfinished Paul music. Unfinished music in the volume 1. I mean,
that you match me exactly, Richard. Yeah. Lyrics atrocious on that album.
It's also far too long as well.
Yeah,
it's his Heather album.
We could have lost at about 5 or 6 songs without any trouble at all.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I quite like it. Sorry to mark the trend there, but
that's your prerogative, mate.
I've got several other
nothing else.
There's several other McCartney albums that would be ranked below that in my estimation. But I'm okay with it. I think there's some decent stuff in it. It does ramble on a bit, but I kind of like rambling albums.
Yeah, I know, for me, it's just not finished.
So what album, Phil, would you of Paul's? Let's keep on the Paul theme. If you could sort of
well, I took about a nanosecond to work this one out. And it's Pipes of Peace.
Okay.
I just don't see the point of it. Sorry, McCartney fans, but I mean, you're coming off the back, and obviously this was an album that we were very familiar with because it was a year after Revolver was born, Gwyn. So
indeed, yeah.
So we were very, Tug of War was a really good record, and we were on a bit of a high with that. And you've got this follow up that's a year, 18 months later, and it was disappointing. And I just remember the time feeling underwhelmed, and particularly the sequencing of the songs as well. You couldn't have sequenced them any worse, I don't think. That second side just drags really badly.
But recorded at the same time as Tug of War.
Exactly,
It's going to be a double album. And that's put all the best stuff on Tug of War and all the worst stuff on Pipes of Peace.
And don't get me wrong, McCartney's Leftovers can be very good. I mean, Red Rose Speedway is the case in point. But the Leftovers are better than the stuff on the original album. But and he has a lot of material out there that's not seen like they officially, that it's very good. But Pipes of Peace was a weird one. You almost feel like the record company stuck a gun to his head and said, "You need to get something out to capitalise on the, success of Tug of War. We got the Christmas market, 83 Christmas market to think about, etc., etc." But it really doesn't do it for me, I'm afraid.
No.
Okay, shall we move along to Ringo? Let's do Ringo next. If you had to, I can see some pull faces. Let's start with you again, Phil. Come on.
Well, I'm going to start with his first album, I'm afraid. Sentimental Journey. It's and I'm not, as far as Ringo's first solo album, what does he do? He's not a writer primarily, so he's going to be relying on people either contributing songs to him or cover versions. Well, probably easier to, make an album of covers than to rely on contributions from other songwriters, etc. So he shows a genre of music that I'm not particularly fond of. And simple as that. I just really don't like those sort of 1930s, crooning type things. And that's probably the bottom line, really. I just don't like the material that he covered. Boko Blues was excellent. I mean, the country genre absolutely suits him, as his latest album proved. But so Sentimental Journey would be my... I'll tap him on the shoulder about that one.
Richard, what are your thoughts on Ringo?
I must admit, haven't listened to much of Ringo's stuff in recent years. So I'm not the best person to ask. But I think Old Wave got me, like, sort of, he was... I think it was in the time where his alcoholism was quite pronounced, shall we say.
I think it was troubling times for...
that sort of era. But he made some very good albums later on with various producers. But I think that one, that's kind of the, before the transition, shall we say?
Yeah.
Going through the motions.
Rob, what are your thoughts?
For Ringo, I mean, I quite like all his albums. Bad Boy is a bit of a challenge. And some of the cover versions on that, probably that'd be a tap on the shoulder. Don't do that. Supreme's covers, maybe not.
Yeah,
true.
Oh yeah,
Bad Boy actually would be my choice. I think, and not as much as well as the song selections. The production just really does leave it very much in that era. His vocals are pretty well subdued in the mix. It's just, it's not a great listen. Never has been for me.
I mean, it doesn't really feel like Ringo stamped his anything on it. It was just like him, just turned up, sang, went home again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He dialed it in, didn't he, for that one?
Yeah. There's no character to it at all.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we move on to John then? It's actually quite difficult
because the obvious Two Virgins and stuff, but
yeah,
you can't really recount those or not. I don't know.
I mean, my choice was I've sort of discounted the experimental stuff, the stuff on Zapple and all the rest of it, but of bona fide John albums, Rock and Roll would be my choice. And I'll be tapping him on the shoulder and say, you are one of the finest songwriters the world's ever seen. Why are you covering other people's songs?
I quite like rock and roll.
Now that's a bit harsh, maybe, but
it's patchy. I mean,
it is patchy. I agree.
To producers, the Phil Spector stuff is well over the top. We know about the sessions and the gunshots into the studio roof or whatever it was. And so
can we tap John on the shoulder and say, can we have a few less gotchas in John Sinclair?
Yeah,
that's true.
There is that. But I was going to say, Richard, with Rock and Roll, I don't know if you share my thoughts in it. I just feel John's, when the Beatles covered stuff, some of those on the early albums with the Beatles and Please Please Me, John's vocals and the group were really up for it, really passionate. I just feel on Rock and Roll that the band's a bit too laid back, and I love Slipping and Sliding and Stand By Me, but the rest of it's a bit kind of, I don't know.
Yeah.
A bit weak, and there's just not quite the passion there that you'd expect from John.
Yeah.
Missing his former bandmates, no doubt. But,
yes.
But I think the Spectre produced ones on Rock and Roll are not the best.
No.
Well, the ones that John did himself, I think, are pretty good.
Yeah.
Written up, really teddy.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
The Spectrization doesn't do it in any favours, really.
And they were all done really slowly as well.
What about George then? Let's finish up with George. I'll go with Dark Horse, because he should have just not attempted that album with his voice in that state.
Exactly.
And it makes it really heavy, difficult listening for me personally, just knowing the vocals that he is capable of doing and what's delivered on that album.
Yeah.
I know he was under pressure.
Don't start the album with an instrumental either.
Yeah, that's a good point. But it is a good instrumental, but yeah, maybe the sequencing isn't quite right either.
No.
I'm going to be a bit controversial here.
That's what we love about you, Phil.
Well, no. When you initially you talked about omitting an album from one of the solo Beatles catalogue, and I'm still going to stick with this assertion, and the album would be Cloud 9. And the reason that from Tapping George, I don't think it's authentic George, that album, really. I think his mates wanted him to have a hit album. They got Jeff Lynne producing. There's very much Jeff Lynne's imprint all over the album, and there's not enough. You talk about not enough Ringo being in Bad Boy. I don't feel it's an authentic George record. That the cover is there. He is, with his shades and his loud shirt, and rock star George. I don't know. It doesn't feel that sincere to me. So if I was tapping him on the shoulder, I'd say, don't work with Jeff Lynne. Which is maybe a bit, but I just feel there's too much of Jeff Lynne on that album, and a little bit less would be more. I love Jeff Lynne with ELO, and I love, he's the right producer in small doses, but I think there's too much of him in that. And I don't think the material, looking back on that album, my favourite track on it's Someplace Else, but I prefer the Shanghai Surprise production.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jeff Lynne production's quite clunky, and I don't know. I just don't feel there's enough of George in that record.
The songs are good, but I know about the production. But then again, you say Jeff Lynne, but he is so influenced by the Beatles anyway. So
exactly,
turning back on itself in a way.
But it was, from my point of view, it was just great to have George back in the spotlight.
Oh no, and I absolutely loved that at the time. No, I'm absolutely
number one in the US. I mean, number two in the UK. Yeah.
But I just don't think it's authentic George, that record, for me, really. I think Dark Horses, he was ravaged, and his marriage was spiraling out of control, and you've got all of that pain on the record. So you've got the true essence of him there. But Cloud Nine's a nice listen, but it's
Yeah.
Pop Star George, which
Mm,
doesn't quite sit comfortably with me.
no.
Can we say Don't Take Flying Hour off somewhere in England?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that would have definitely improved somewhere in England.
And Lay His Head and Sat Singing. Were
Yeah.
the
They can
songs
stay too.
Yeah, they could stay.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so another question to fling your way. Ringo's just about to kick off some more shows in the States, and fair play. He does it. He does all these shows, gets pretty good attendances, rave reviews. He's still doing it at his age. Do we ever think he's going to come and play in the UK again?
No,
No.
fortunately.
Be nice if he would,
Yeah.
especially the country stuff as well.
Yes. Partly tax reasons, isn't it? I think mainly, but
It would be a great.
he got a beef when he was in '92. He played Liverpool Empire and didn't sell out. And apparently, that's he's only done a couple of concerts since.
You think though that there would be, case one of the festivals, one of the larger festivals, him being on the, wouldn't you? And I think that would appeal to him if he could. I mean, his band is up and ready. He's got the band together. They've been together a long time now. This particular
true
incarnation of the All Stars, and I don't know if he got a decent offer from Glastonbury or somewhere. I don't know, or but certainly not the tour. There's not enough to warrant the tour, is there? So
no, he's got a thing. I mean, he's got a personal thing that he thinks is not popular in England. So obviously he lives in the States, so not here that much anyway. So the last time, wasn't it at Hampton Court Palace, in the grounds of Hampton Court Palace? That's the last time he was in the UK.
Yeah, I think I'm right saying my brother saw him at that, actually.
Yeah, I was there.
So
what year was that then? Was that the
2000s, wasn't it? I can't trying to think when.
Because the Hammersmith Odeon gig he did would have been around about
92.
92, early 90s.
Yeah, that was just after George, wasn't it?
I was about to say that must have been very close to George. Yeah,
it was, because it was Ringo's birthday, and we were sitting by the sort of on the edge of the front rows, and we saw George with standing in backstage.
Oh wow!
Didn't get on stage though, unfortunately,
as
Ringo did with George at the Albert Hall. But yeah.
And are we looking forward to Ringo's doing another country album? I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, bring it on. On.
I mean, it's his music, isn't it? I'm surprised I haven't done it before, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it was a big enough gap between Boku Blues and Look Up. So
exactly.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think he's been invigorated by the commercial, well, not just the commercial, but the critical success.
Yeah.
That he's had. He got some really pretty complimentary reviews to Look Up, and good that it spurred him on to do another album rather than have an EP again.
Yes. I know he was going to make more albums, didn't he?
He said he wasn't going to do, but I'm glad he's moving away from that format. Not that there's anything wrong about about an EP, but I do like
some of those EPs were good.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. But they could have been combined together and made a really good album.
Yeah, could have done.
Is he? Does anyone know if is he featuring stuff from the new album on his tour and his set lists? I haven't actually looked to see if he's featuring.
He might be doing one or two.
Yeah, it's pretty much the usual all-star band, format. A couple of songs from each member.
Yeah.
Because now, of course, featuring Hamish Stewart, that of course was in Paul's band for so long.
Yes. Have you guys heard the BBC are going to be airing on the Arena programme a special on Paul and his bass?
Yes.
I did see.
Yeah.
The Lost Bass. Yeah.
Yeah. I've not heard anything as to when it's going to be released, but I'm guessing it's going to be sometime later in the autumn, as part of the autumn schedule. But that'll be quite an interesting program, actually.
Yeah. Paul's participating, isn't he? So it would. fascinating story, isn't it? It's amazing that it's rediscovered. Arena's produced fantastic documentaries over the years, so I think we can expect something very good there.
Have you guys come across any other bits of news recently? Thank you, Rob, for giving me the heads up on the Wings album the other day. Thank you for that.
Well, there's another McCartney. There's some more McCartney photographs currently being exhibited in London.
Yes, yeah.
So I think that's. I don't know if you've been, Richard, but it's till the end of the month, and it's similar to the Eye of the Storm.
But they're for sale.
Yes, I think they're for sale.
Tens of thousands of pounds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Signed by Paul, but
whereabouts are these been?
It's a gallery. I think it's called the Gagosian Gallery.
It's in Mayfair.
Yeah, Mayfair. So I think you're looking at. It's a much smaller affair than the Eye of the Storm exhibition, of course, but it's something there that's free to the public. I actually sent an email to the organizer to get a nice reply from this young lady saying, "Oh yes, love to, delighted to see you there." And so it's a little bit of a niche sort of gallery. But yeah, that's free to the public. And I think they're on display till the end of September, I think. So.
That's good. The Eye of the Storm show was very good, wasn't it?
Quite.
Was.
Enjoyed that one.
Yeah, it was very good indeed.
And the Yoko one was good as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Yoko one was excellent. That was at the Tate Modern, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was excellent. Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up there. But if you bear with us, and we will let's try and get this going a bit more frequently. I know I'm to blame for that, but I'll give you some shout outs, and we'll try and get some other discussions on other topics in the not too distant future. Anyway,
right.
Cheers,
Okay.
Take
care.
See you, fellas. All the best.
There we go.